Hey guys, welcome to episode number 3 of D&M's Floor It series, and today we're going to be talking about the different sim racing platforms, different games you can find on your computer to run your simulator, and even some of those casual gamers out there who just want a little bit more of a chilled out experience. So basically the main one that I play from my experience has been iRacing. That's really where I find I get the best feel from the cars in terms of physics, and I don't think the graphics are too bad. They're definitely not anything like some of the other titles out there, but for me, iRacing feels the most realistic. They've got a really good sort of selection of cars that have obviously been laser scanned, so everything's really done to a high quality. Tracks are laser scanned. They do an awesome job with the tracks. The detail is incredible on some of the surfaces. They pick up every single little bump that's on there, so it's pretty cool to know that you're getting a really authentic experience when playing iRacing, and you can play it on a simulator like this, or you can play it on a desk if you want, just with a little Logitech steering wheel or a Thrustmaster. That's how I started. I just had a little desk in my room and basically set that up, and I played on that for a number of years. So you can get started in any way, but obviously having something like this is going to make your life a little bit easier and try and creep those lap times down. Other titles, so I've had a lot of experience with Assetto Corsa and rFactor 2. They're both really good titles, I find, if I'm sort of getting a little bit over iRacing, and it's sort of, iRacing is one for the really serious gamer who wants to race online, wants to race against people of your own quality, and it's, everyone really takes it seriously on that game. So I find the other titles a little bit more relaxing for me to try and just, take your mind off things, and because I only really play Assetto Corsa and rFactor 2 just by myself. Either it's practicing or just racing with the computer AI. So Assetto Corsa has an unbelievably large amount of mods available for the game. People have gone over and above creating realistic worlds and crazy graphics that it has. It honestly, sometimes it looks like a real life scenario when you see someone driving down a motorway or something like that. There's crazy things you can set up in that game. I find the handling is okay. It's a little bit hard to feel it through the steering wheel sometimes. It also does depend on your force feedback setup as well. But yeah, I find it's not quite as realistic as iRacing would be, but I really do like jumping in there because I can drive basically anything you want, you can find on the internet. Yeah, so yeah, Assetto Corsa has, tracks from New Zealand, Australia, Europe, massive Japanese culture like in the game. A lot of the toge stuff is really popular in there as well, so that's fun for someone like myself to just jump into, and it's all really easy to download and install, and then you can just find yourself driving an R32 Skyline through the mountains of Japan, and it all looks very realistic, and it's pretty cool. It's pretty relaxing sometimes. But rFactor 2 is probably along the lines of a more simulation style game. It's probably a lot closer to iRacing than Assetto Corsa is. It's got a really good tyre model, and I actually quite like the feel of the game, just with the steering and how the car behaves. There are a few quirks in there though, like each game has their own different kind of style of driving. I find rFactor, you can actually really drive the car really hard, and just squeeze all the time out of it, whereas iRacing is, each car has its own way it makes lap time, and you have to be very, very accurate with the way you drive it. So rFactor for me, it's just like Assetto Corsa. I like going and picking any mod I want off the internet, downloading it, and just jumping on a track and running some laps, whether it's somewhere I've never even heard of before, or a track that I didn't know existed, and I just get out there and start driving, or I can go back to my hometown of Pukekohe and run some laps. So it's pretty cool for that reason as well. For you more casual gamers, you know, PlayStation, Xbox, etc. I've had a lot of experience with Forza and Gran Turismo as well. You know, even the Forza Motorsport series has been pretty cool, along with the Forza Horizon series. Yeah, I know it's not quite a racing game as such, but it's still fun to get on there and drive some cars around a big open world map, and you know, I actually find, for me, that's probably the most relaxing game I can find. I still play Forza Horizon 3 and Forza Horizon 4 and 5 now. To this day, I still play it. So that's a lot of fun, but I've also had a lot of experience with Gran Turismo as well. Just to kind of have a bit of a refresh of you know, some of the racing games out there. I find Gran Turismo has this cool style of where it's really incorporated the really casual player into something that is actually, it can become quite serious, even though you know, you could be sitting on a couch just playing with your controller. It can still be like quite competitive. So I like getting on there and just, you know, playing with, either you're doing the different championships that the game already has, or you're racing online with some people. It's pretty cool. I remember actually probably the first racing game I ever played was Gran Turismo 3, so it's going back a fair bit, but yeah, I always started there, and I've always had a bit of a fond memory of the Gran Turismo game. So another thing with Gran Turismo is it's now the PlayStation VR headset can actually you can use for that game, and it actually looks pretty wicked. VR is definitely becoming a more popular thing for racing games. I've tried it a few times, and it's funny. It sometimes makes people feel sick, feel nauseous. I'm fine, like I don't get any of that weird stuff going on, but I do find it quite hard because some of the resolution in the VR headsets probably isn't as good as some of the monitors we have here, so it's quite hard to really see the detail in the track and things like that. But I've seen a few videos of Gran Turismo playing with the VR headset, and it looks pretty wicked. Thanks for watching another episode of D&M's Floor It series. In the next one, we're going to be checking out how to set up your sim in terms of the game settings and everything to go along with that. So thank you.